guys, it is Galaxy Girl, and today I am back with another video for you guys. I'm actually a little bit nervous about today's video because today I'm going to be doing my Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture Palette unboxing. I received this yesterday, but I wanted to wait till I could get in front of the camera and have like a first impression because I've been hearing a lot of not so good things about the palette, and that kind of breaks my heart because one of the things that I said in my last video was that I was hoping the formula would be the same, and a lot of people have said that it is completely different, so I'm super nervous. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So give this video a thumbs up and let's get right into the video. So I have my box right here, as well as my little pair of scissors. So let's just do this. Okay, wait, I should be going from the side. I really should have gotten bigger scissors for this because okay, the moment of truth. It's a bunch of confetti things. Okay. Oh Jesus. I really hope all this doesn't fall on my floor. But once you kind of get the noodle straw things out of the way, you see the palette here, and it is. This is literally what I did not want to happen. Here it is in its little bubble wrap. Don't need that either. This is what the packaging looks like, and the blue is actually a lot darker than I thought it was initially because, like, in most pictures the blue looks pretty light. Ugh. I'm so nervous. Like, I want it to be so good. Like, please. So we are just going to slip it out. I hope that was not important. It's more of like a mossy teal than like a blue that I thought it was, but it's what it looks like. It's the same felt, just like the Modern Renaissance palette. I actually have that one right here, so we can look at them together. I believe these are the same size and same packaging. So let's take a look at what the Subculture palette has to show us. Here it is. Wow, I mean, just looking at it, it looks beautiful. So this is the brush that comes with the palette. I just took it out of its little packaging, and I know a lot of people have been having a whole bunch of fallout, so let's just kind of test it out. Roxy is the shade that one YouTuber actually hit pan on the first time using it, and that's actually pretty crazy to me because I have a lot of makeup and I have never hit pan on any of my eyeshadows, even palettes that I've had for years. So ugh. So there is quite a bit of fallout, but honestly it's not as bad as like what most people have said it is. Let me see what this shade looks like on my hand. So this is what the Roxy shade looks like once it is actually swatched on the arm. My arm is not primed, so this is just what it looks like on my regular skin, and I don't know if maybe only half of the palettes turned out bad, but like, I'm only one color in, but so far so good. Next, let's dip into this cube color, and I heard this is very similar to one of their highlighters, but let's just see. Not a lot of fallout from this one at all. I don't know if you guys can see that. But let's see what it looks like. So it's a very light pinkish tone. It is a pretty unpigmented color, so I don't see myself really using this without some kind of base because it doesn't really look like much of anything right now. So next, let's go into Dawn. And I am getting a bit more fallout with this one, so just so you guys can see. Now let's swatch it on the arm. Yeah, definitely quite a bit of fallout on this one because as I was brushing it, I could see it falling off of my arm. But this is what that shade looks like. Next, let's move on to Electric. This is this super adorable kind of like dune buggy green glitter shimmer shade. I don't know really how to explain it. I mean, it looks like pretty green to me, but let's see what it looks like on the arm. So just like the cube shade, it is just kind of more of a shimmer on the arm. Not a whole lot of pigment from this one, but there is a nice little like twinkle there, so I don't hate it. Like, so far, not bad. I mean, definitely this is going better than a lot of other YouTubers' first impressions have gone, so I'm not that mad right now. Okay, the next color is Destiny. Yes, so a bit of fallout on this one as well. I honestly really hate that because I like to keep all my palettes like super clean. I'm a bit of a neat freak, so like it's gonna drive me a little bit bats. But let's just see. Oh wow, that is a very pigmented color. Wow. So here, like in the actual packaging, it looks like a mossy green, but once it's swatched on the arm, it just looks like a super dark brown. I don't even see like any green tones in here, so it's kind of weird. I mean, that looks like I mean, I'm not tripping, this looks like a mossy color, right? Like, and this doesn't. I don't know, let me know in the comments below if it's just me, but I don't think there's any green in that. So next we are going to move on to the shade Fudge, and this shade has already actually been used in the Mario palette, I believe. So this is the only non-new shade. Ugh. Yeah. Still a lot of fallout. Like, I feel like every time I put my brush into it, it just kind of crumbles, but it's a lot better than most people have said it is. Again, wow, this is a very, very pigmented color. Like, this is kind of what I would expect from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So maybe I got one of the good palettes. Like, okay, let's move on to another shimmer shade. We're going to go into Adorn. Yeah, see, the shimmer shades don't seem to be having any kind of fallout at all. Like, I'm just tapping it and nothing. Ooh. That is a very pigmented shimmer. This is like the most pigmented shimmer we have seen so far. I am here for this. Like, living a little bit, yeah. Okay, next we are moving on to the more exciting shades, I would say. The ones that really had me like, I need this palette right now. So we are going to go into New Wave. Actually, a lot less fallout with this shade than the other ones, I would say. So New Wave looks like a bit of a more orangey toned color of Roxy up here. And what I was actually going to mention when I first watched Roxy is that I expected it to be a bit more coral, but as you can see here, it's more of like a coral orange. So yes, and this is the New Wave shade. I hope I don't run out of like arm room because I am getting kind of far down my forearm right now. Okay, next we are going to go into All Star. Not that much fallout with this one either. Here you go, I'll show you guys. Yeah, no, these last two, New Wave and All Star, have not had a lot of fallout. So this is what the All Star shade looks like. It is kind of like a dark purple, like a very sultry color. I think this would be perfect for fall. I am not actually hating this right now. Like, this is going a lot better than I expected. The only thing that I would say is that some of the colors don't really like go on to the skin the same way that they look in the palette, but haven't really had any like formula issues so far. But we are not through all the shades, so I will reserve all final thoughts till the very end. So next we are going into Untamed. Bit of fallout on that one, a little bit more than we've had with the last two. This is what this one looks like, and this one actually looks more like what I thought the previous kind of like mossy color would look like, but I'm not mad at this. It's not bad. Okay, next we are going to go in with the color Mercury. Ugh, a lot of fallout on that one. I saw it fall onto edge and I was like, I think I'm gonna actually have to put this on my other arm because I have run out of room. I am not very good with my left hand, let me tell you. So this looks like a more toned down version of Fudge, I would say. I don't know if it's because I applied it with my left hand, but this one seemed to be a little bit more inconsistent, so not really sure what to chalk that up to. Okay, I was super excited for the color edge here, so a moment of truth. Again, not that much fallout as some of the other ones, I would say. This one was one of the better ones. So this one is a bit more of like a mustard color. Here, I will put it next to my other arm of swatches so you can kind of see what it looks like compared to the other like yellow orangey colors. It's honestly not bad, but I am a little bit disappointed with how the colors are like coming off on the skin, because when I initially saw the palette, like the picture, I had a certain like image in mind of like the types of color looks I would do, and this palette just seems like a little bit more darker than what I was expecting, but it's not bad. I'm definitely not going to like knock it for that because we are going into fall, so it would be a pretty nice fall palette. But let's move on to the final two. So we have Axis and Rowdy left. I am going to go with Axis. This one is one of the more powdery ones. Has a bit more fallout. Okay, so I don't really have a lot of complaints about the color, but as you can see that it did grab onto certain parts of my skin, and a lot of the other shades did not do that, so that's kind of weird. Like, when I started applying it, that really kind of threw me off, because as you can see, these other ones are pretty smooth, pretty consistent throughout their like swatch length, I guess. And this one just seems kind of like patchy. Like, I see 3 patches. How many do you see? Okay, and now for the final color, Rowdy. This kind of like nice plum color. Again, more fallout. I do think that the darker colors have more fallout than the light ones, because what I kind of noticed is shimmers is like no fallout, certain light colors is like minimum fallout, pretty standard, and darker colors are like prepare for like all the fallout. So I don't know. So this one kind of seems to be doing the same thing. I think that is super weird because like I don't know. These swatches did not do that. Like, I don't know. Even the one up here that you can see, because I said that, I don't know if it's because I'm doing it with my left hand, but this one up here is a lot more smooth than these bottom two. So I definitely think that that is a formulaic. Is that a word, formulaic? So I definitely think that that is a formulaic difference within these shades. Okay, so now that we've swatched all the shades, I'm going to do one final test. I've heard in a lot of the reviews that the shimmer shades don't go on to the mattes like at all. So we are going to test that out really quickly. So I'm just going to go in with our brightest shimmer, Adorn, and put it over Roxy over here. Okay, so I'm going to just pick it up onto the flat, small side of the brush. Yeah, not really a lot of fallout with these. And I'm gonna do this so you guys can see. What? Okay, so apparently everyone was hella right, because I was like, I'm about to do this test and prove everybody wrong, because there's no way that this much pigment is not going to show up on a matte shade. But like, as you guys can see, I just tried to kind of get down here and like, you know, reapply it, but it's not really going on. I mean, you can see it a little bit if you build it up, but when I initially kind of like swiped, like the first little camera swipe, y'all saw that, there was like barely anything there. Like, I turned my arm backwards and I was like, I thought I put something on here. Okay, so now that I have fully swatched the palette and done all the little tests that I have seen other YouTubers try, I can finally give my final thoughts on the palette. So, moment of truth. I would give this palette like a 6.5 out of 10. I think I have to take like half a point off for like disappointment, because although my experience with the shades was not as bad as everybody else's, I would say that I kind of expect better from Anastasia Beverly Hills as a company. I mean, they have a very high standard like that is associated with them as a brand, and there are certain shades in this palette that I just don't think live up to that. The last two that we swatched, I was not a huge fan of those. I was kind of disappointed that the shimmer really did not go onto the matte. I think that is totally insane, because like it looks super duper pigmented on my arm. Like, it's still like confusing me. Okay, I really need to stop rambling and wrap this video up. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I will see you in my next video.